Park is you do this professionally, Ian.
Yeah, it's my own business now. I've been in farming all my life. I was a shepherd for quite a lot of years, and I went just to cattle. 2009 went into Shorthorns with a big herd in Yorkshire, and was with them like the Shorthorns so much. So then I left there in 2017 and just started working freelance, and it's just a nice handy job. I like doing it. I like just bringing cattle out for sure. I do quite a bit for bringing shows, sales and that. And I've got a few people that I work for all the time every year, so it works in quite well, and so new ones come along. So, but it's a sort of job you can have a week away somewhere, a couple of days, and then go somewhere else again as well. So it works in quite well. It's a nice job to do. It's nice to see a beast when you've clipped it, and if it goes on and does well at a show, or a sale, that's what it's all about.
There's the Irish Society, the Shorthorn Society, having a national show, and it's their first show on the 11th of September. So Ian has come back to give Trevor, who normally looks after the cattle here, a hand in preparing our animals for the show. And I suppose you can't just turn up on the show day and expect the animals to show themselves. There's a lot of work done in advance of the show, and it starts a number of weeks ahead of the show. And I think this year in particular, and last year we didn't, any of the farming community that would normally be showing cattle week in, week out, haven't had the opportunity to get out and show their cattle and show their livestock. So the Shorthorn National Show in September is something to really look forward to, and I believe there's over 100 entries there already. So I suppose we will be there with a number of animals, and I suppose Ian might go through the process of where the animal, at what stage do you start training the animal, and the break-in and so forth. What type of a process?
Well, the easiest time to break them is when they're calves, really, because you can handle them much easier. They don't drag you about. They haven't got the same power, but some people will break them before they're even off the cow. These are still on the cows at the minute, but they're just ready for taking off the cow now. But this is a nice sort of age to break them, and what we would normally do, we would bring them into pens, get a halter on them, and just tie them up, let them stand for a couple of hours the first time maybe, and then bring them in again the next day and let them stand half a day or so.
When you say that you tie them up, how much of a length of a rope would you leave in?
But you wouldn't put a calf on that length of rope when you first tied them up. You want them fairly, somewhere about there and up fairly high, because I've seen them many times get the front leg over the top of the rope and go like that, and then they start to panic. So you have them something like that, fairly good. We'll leave them a couple of hours the first day, and then a bit longer the second day, and the third day maybe all day. And it's just getting them used to the rope, and then you put probably the second day you put these snips in. These are they take a little bit of getting used to, but they're like a safety mechanism really for leading them. If you've got them, when you first look at an animal, you'll know whether it's a good one or a bad one, whether you can do something with it or not. But you can make a poor animal look better, but you'll not make a bad animal look good, really. But you look for an animal that's got a lot of character. If it stands square, a leg in each corner, and then you want to be able to lift her head, a bit of presence when she comes into the show ring. Good straight back on it, a level back. Straight off the tail end like this one is. You don't want something that starts to slope away here and go down like that. That's wrong altogether. You want that nice up there and straight across. Plenty of width in here and here. And you want to come right along the back, and the shoulders don't want to be as wide as they are there, but they want to be a good width. And you don't want rough shoulders. Not so much. Doesn't matter too much in females, but in bulls, if you get that big heavy shoulder coming out here, you will have calving problems. And nice neck, bit of length of neck. You don't want them too, you don't want the neck back in here. Just quite a bit of neck. And then if you come around to the head, she's got a lovely feminine head. Nice big ears. She's actually polled. She won't have horns, so she's got what they call this poll on top of the head. Ears that flick forward, alert all the time. Nice bit of width between her eyes there, and a nice length of face. You don't want the face too long or too narrow. You want a little bit of width in between the underneath the eyes there. We washed these at the weekend, and what I do, I clip the tails, wash them and let them dry. We clip the tail and you bare clip this bit just about where you're coming down to where the leg splits here, just above there, and that, by clipping it bare, it lets you see, makes the back end look wider. If you imagine that was up there, it used to be up there like that, sort of width, you know, all the way up. So this is why we do this. All cattle are different. Some will have maybe a little bit high in the tail head, so you take more off to flatten it down. Some might have a dip in here or in here, so you try to go over the top, make them as flat as possible. Really, that's the whole idea. And then up the back here, you just we're shaping the leg a little bit, take the rough hair off. I'll just show you on this side. See how the hair's just sticking out there. So if we don't shave it, we just take the longer hair off. And clip the side here. And just take the long hairs off, just to make it look a bit tidier really, more than anything else. So you just keep brushing up and lift them up again, and you get to a sort of bit where you think, well, that's not too bad. You know, you don't want it, you'll not get it perfect. You can get it perfect, but you would spend hours on it. Some breeds you would, but the shorthorns are, they need to have hair on them because the breed they are, a lot of them are wintered outside anyway, and so they do carry more hair. Does the shorthorns. They're not like a continental beast that's a lot smoother. So we just make it look sort of square and tidier. I'll come round that side now. We clip the belly bare. We start there, take a line along there, everything under the belly, under the brisket's clipped back to here. And this bit, I don't clip this bare because if you leave it a bit longer, it tends to give you a better line when the judge is looking at it through there. So I just sort of come to there and then just trim the ends off that bit there, and you'll see run along, taking the lines. I can just try to get this as straight as it can, as straight as you can really. Just washed to leave you on. That's the whole idea, and then just taking the long hands off. Just a brush coming up again. See how the little bits there are coming up, you just take them off. I don't like to clip them too hard. I like to see the calves with a bit of hair on, so some show day. There's different things we use. I can show you. This is, well, that's called shock, but it's a thing that makes the hair sprayed on, and it's a thing that makes the hair stand up. It helps the clippers, it makes the hair a little bit stronger, so you can clip with it. And you've got various portions. Show sheen, that's like that puts a shine on them just before you go into the ring. Adhesive for the tails. This is just a clear setting lotion. That's something you put on and you just spray it all over and brush them up, and you get bits. There's quite like using this. This is a very, very light oil, and that puts a lovely sheen on them once you've put the gel on. And I just spray that all over them, and then one brush up, and that's them ready to go into the show ring. It's a nice colour on them. More so, you get more of a shine on this kind of animal than you will on a cow like that, a white one, you know. So it's just doing as much as you can really, just to make them look the best. And if you're lucky enough to win, well, you're lucky enough to win. But the thing with showing is you've got to learn to stand at the bottom of the line as well as at the top of the line, because it happens. So, and every judge is different on the day. So you know what one judge will like, one judge won't. So you just have to. And if the thing to do is, if you know who's judging, is to try and pick an animal that will suit that judge. If you know what he likes, and you try to get as near to what he would like himself, or what he breeds himself, to put in front of him. So that's the main job really, you know. There's not many perfect animals about, but if you do get one, well, it's good. But no, it's nice to win, and but it's a good showings. It's a good crack. You meet a lot of good people, a lot of nice people, and the camaraderie and the crack's good. So you know, and at the end of the day, I don't think anybody begrudges anybody winning. It's you do it for the fun of it, not for the money. There's not that much money in it really. So it's nice to get your cattle out there. It's a shop window really. If you're selling cattle as Tommy does with his online sales and things like that, you need to get one or two out there to let the public see them, or let the farmers or the buyers see them. So if you can get one or two out to a show, it's a good way of saying that's what I have to sell later on in the year. So that's another way of looking at it really.
Westmore, Maryland. He's basically he's been halter broken, but never really walked. So he's just a 3-year-old now. One crop of calves on the ground from him. Very happy with him, and I'm going to bring him to the show along with some of his calves.